Because of their supposed embodiment of masculinity in culture, Sigma males have long been an intriguing topic. They are equally as capable, if not more so, than alpha males. Alpha males may possess the title of leader, but their lack of discipline and independence frequently leads to their demise, whereas Sigma males retain such traits. As a result, it's no wonder that more men are choosing the Sigma male road over the alpha male one. Being the Sigma male, on the other hand, is a challenging task. It takes a lot of discipline and devotion and staying away from dangerous pitfalls that might wreck your life. That being stated, here are 8 things that Sigma males usually avoid. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, so you will be notified when next we upload a new video. Number 1. Being self-centered. When you consider a Sigma male, what rings a bell? Some might expect these people to be conceited and just consideration about their own requirements and needs. However, the fact of the matter is a long way from the generalization. While Sigma males focus on their independence and opportunity, they likewise put a high worth on friendly associations and connections. They may not effectively search out friendly collaboration, but rather they're frequently profoundly compassionate toward others and focus on their feelings. As a matter of fact, they can be profoundly viable pioneers as they notice and feel for their colleagues' necessities and viewpoints before they decide. This comprehension of others can emerge out of major areas of strength for them of mindfulness and reflection. Being thoughtful permits Sigma males to comprehend and sympathize with others, prompting a profound degree of sympathy as opposed to narcissism. This quality separates them from other administration styles, permitting them to lead with compassion and joint effort. Number 2. Gossiping. Could it be said that you are burnt out on getting sucked into discussions loaded up with tattle and pessimism? Perhaps now is the right time to significantly impact your attitude. Not at all like other people who might see tattle as an innocuous method for holding or taking a break, Sigma males see it as an ineffective and energy-depleting movement. They like to invest their significant investment in discussions that enhance their lives and line up with their objectives and interests. Validness and genuineness are key qualities for Sigma males. They accept that gossiping can make pointless strain and struggle among companions, family, and associates. By keeping away from tattle, Sigma males keep a feeling of uprightness and regard for themselves and others. In opposition to what others might think, Sigma males don't keep away from social collaborations by and large. They have dear companionships and close connections, however stick to individuals who share their qualities and interests. This particular way to deal with social cooperation empowers them to keep a tranquil, show-free life. So in the event that you're worn out on being sucked into discussions loaded up with bits of hearsay and cynicism, channel your inward Sigma male, center around your objectives and interests, and circle yourself with similar people, and watch as your life turns out to be liberated from the show and loaded up with energy. Number 3. Constantly being negative. Not at all like people who permit cynicism to consume them, Sigma males focus on personal development and self-awareness. They comprehend that negative considerations can become inevitable outcomes and that home on them can keep them from accomplishing their maximum capacity. They approach challenges as any open doors to learn and develop as opposed to regard them as unconquerable boundaries. They generally have a reasonable vision of what they need to accomplish and drive themselves to seek after their objectives in any event when confronted with misfortune. Their immovable feeling of direction and assurance assists them with keeping fixed on the good parts of their lives in any event, during attempting times. Sigma males focus on tracking down arrangements and remaining positive, zeroing in on the positive qualities in their lives as opposed to getting hindered by cynicism. These people have a profound comprehension of their feelings, making them pros at overseeing them. They perceive when their considerations and feelings begin to turn pessimistic and find proactive ways to move their concentration back to inspiration. With such a capacity to understand people on a profound level and mindfulness, Sigma males abstain from becoming involved with cynicism, keeping an inspirational perspective on life and staying hopeful about what's to come. So if you have any desire to carry on with a satisfying life, realize that the force of energy can life change. Number 4. Being fake. Sigma males focus on their distinction and legitimacy, staying away from any sprinkle of phoniness in their associations. Their validity causes them to seem puzzling yet dependable and solid. They stay consistent with their convictions and values, setting these above cultural standards and the craving to satisfy others. This makes them baffling and strange, yet additionally dependable and solid. Dissimilar to many individuals who capitulate to cultural standards or friend pressure, Sigma males have an independent mind and are unafraid to challenge the customary way of thinking or offer their opinions. This attribute of expressing their real thoughts assists them with standing apart from the group. However, it can likewise cause them to seem forceful or rough, being important for their legitimacy. By staying consistent with their convictions and valid selves, Sigma males gain the regard and trust of the people around them. Trying not to be fake is only one of the numerous characteristics that make them stick out. Number 5. Getting into people's business. These men get it and regard individual limits, deciding not to intrude in others' organizations. They favor zeroing in on their work and life as opposed to engaging in friendly shows or tattle. Their capacity to mind their business can cause them to show up standoffish or disengaged. However, it likewise makes them solid and dependable. They regard others' limits and try not to compel their opinions or counsel others except if mentioned. They esteem others' independence and recognize that everybody has their own specific manner of carrying on with their lives. Sigma males additionally comprehend the meaning of focusing on their objectives and undertakings, trying not to get diverted by others' concerns or issues. They esteem their significant investment and try not to squander it on trivial issues. Time is a significant asset, and they like to put it in exercises that line up with their objectives and values. This center permits them to accomplish their targets productively and really. Number 6. Trying to please everyone. When you consider a certain, confident individual, what rings a bell? A considerable lot of us could picture the ostentatious, extremely confident man who orders consideration and looks for approval from others. Yet, what might be said about the Sigma male, a definitive non-conventionalist who walks to his beat, okay with what his identity is? One of the principal traits of Sigma males is their indifference to satisfying everybody. Not at all like their showy partners, Sigma males don't require outer approval to feel much better about themselves, nor do they try to satisfy others while simply deciding. Indeed, you heard that right. And keeping in mind that this direct way to deal with life frequently leaves them misjudged, Sigma males are happy with just being themselves and not hesitant to contradict some common norms to remain consistent with themselves. They are definitive non-traditionalists, yet this isn't a quality of egotism as many trust it to be. All things considered, it's the confidence that makes them one of a kind. They don't pander to accepted practices or attempt to find a place with the group. That doesn't mean they don't see the value and the worth of social associations. They comprehend that their demeanor could now and again bring about disengagement. However, it doesn't stop them. Sigma males wouldn't worry about being on the edges of society. They haven't arrived to satisfy everybody. Their freedom, modesty, and profound association can show us some things exploring life's flightiness while remaining grounded and pushing ahead emphatically. Number 7. Depending a lot on others for approval or validation. Is it true or not that you are burnt out on depending on others for approval or validation? Perhaps now is the right time to remove a page from the Sigma male strategy. These people rush to confide in themselves and their capacities as opposed to looking for validation from others. This freedom is brought into the world from a conviction that depending a lot on others can prompt losing individual flexibility and independence. In this way, they frequently decide to work alone or in little gatherings, permitting them to keep up with command over their work and individual lives. They might be specific about who they partner with and frequently keep a degree of profound separation in their connections. Yet, it's not to say that Sigma males aren't equipped for framing solid connections. They comprehend that special interactions are important, however focus on their qualities and convictions as opposed to satisfying people around them. Also, this can in some cases lead to struggle with other people who might see them as pretentious of others' perspectives. However, actually, Sigma males are about genuineness and autonomy. They couldn't care less about others' thought processes of them, and that is the reason they're frequently profoundly regarded. They trust their capacities and what they have faith in, and that makes them really remarkable. So if you have any desire to support your certainty and become more confident, take a page from Sigma males and focus on yourself. Trust your capacities, stand by your convictions, and watch as others regard and appreciate your realness. Number 8. Making excuses instead of taking responsibility. Do you end up continually rationalizing why you can't accomplish your objectives? Now is the ideal time to investigate the Sigma male way to deal with life. These people focus on private responsibility and comprehend they are answerable for their own lives. They don't sit around idly faulting outside conditions or others for their disappointments, perceiving that such mentalities are not useful in accomplishing their objectives. Sigma males adopt a functioning strategy to life, looking for potential open doors for development and advancement instead of sitting tight for them to come in their direction. They're independent and creative, not dependent on others for approval or backing. Their autonomy permits them to seek after their objectives without being kept down by others. These men aren't anxious about facing challenges or confronting difficulties, considering them to be potential open doors for development and learning. They comprehend that misfortunes and disappointments are essential for the excursion toward progress and don't avoid them. So, assuming you're worn out on rationalizing your disappointments, now is the right time to continue in the progress of Sigma males. Focus on private responsibility, adopt a functioning strategy for life, and don't fear facing challenges. You'll be stunned at what you can accomplish when you own your life. Thanks for watching my video on the 8 things Sigma males always avoid. Subscribe for more Sigma male videos, and we will see you guys next time with a new Sigma male video.